So when we have anxiety, it all stems from I'm not enough. So let me tell you, you are enough. Your spiritual path is enough and more than enough.
2, 1, 0.
Hi, and welcome to Stellar Life Podcast. This is your host, Orion. Thank you so much for being here, listening on the podcast app or on YouTube. I'm very, very grateful that you're here. And today I'm going to talk about a topic that is a taboo or maybe an oxymoron. Can self-development induce anxiety? I am very big on self-development. I've done so much self-development throughout my life. I've traveled over 40 countries. I studied from the greatest leaders and luminaries of our time. I did a million, bazillion, gazillion, gajillion seminars and retreats and masterminds. And I rubbed shoulders with the best of the best. And what I learned is that sometimes you have to separate the method from the guru. And sometimes when you go into the inner circles of self-development gurus, you see things that you don't necessarily want to see. And because I've done so much, I wanted to share with you some of my greatest tips on how to not have anxiety because you're going on a self-development journey. One of the things that can induce anxiety is that many of those people that are on guru status are very different in their personal life than the person you see on social media, the beautiful Instagram images. You don't see them when they're angry. You don't see them when the cameras and then the fancy outfits are on. You don't see them, but everybody is human. And if you're trying to compare yourself to any of those fancy images, it will, without you even knowing, produce some sort of anxiety and discomfort. And it might be subconscious. You go on Facebook, you see all those beautiful posts, and you don't feel so great about yourself. And you don't even know why. So take the pressure off. And remember never to put anyone on a pedestal. And that's a mistake that I've done. Never put anyone that looks amazing or looks so spiritual or have the right outfit. Don't put them on a pedestal. Even the people that communicate with angels and sound so incredible, or maybe they wear this rope or whatever it is. Don't compare yourself to others. Your journey is your journey. And believe you me, even those who say they never have a bad day because they have the tools to handle that, have bad days. I had an experience recently with an up-and-coming breathwork guru. Never heard of him, saw him on social media, saw the videos. It sounded amazing. I've done intense breathwork in the past, and I thought to myself, oh, what a lovely opportunity for me to go there and manifest. And I went there. I met a girlfriend. We had a good time. We found the right spot on the floor. I brought myself pillows and blankets, and I felt very comfortable, ready to go. We went deep into breath work. Now, when you do deep breath work, it's very similar to being on psychedelic. You actually, I think, you activate, I think it's the DMT molecule in your brain, and you can see visions and you can get into altered states. And that's a beautiful space to heal your wounds as a child and connect to the divine and connect to source energy and get answers and all that. So we're in it and it's going really well and it's wonderful and breathing and pushing through. I'm seeing things, I'm feeling things. Everything is just awesome. And all of a sudden, it feels like the air was sucked out of the room and all this high vibrational energy just boom, collapsed to the floor. And I'm still in trance state, and I get up and I see that people are going, looking around, and and there is tension in the air. And apparently there is a woman in the back. And I'm talking, this is a very, very big space, maybe 200-300 people. And there is a woman in the back having seizures, and medical assistant is coming. Now, I don't know what this leader was thinking. I'm sure he was thinking, oh my God, this is very scary. And he was worried about the woman. And he was also having oh my God, I'm going to be sued freak out moment, because nobody knew what actually was going on, if she's going through a heart attack or what was happening there. And so he came, he said, okay, guys, I have some exercises for you online, and just journal for 5 minutes and leave the room. I was very, very disoriented. Everybody around me were extremely disoriented. As a hypnotherapist and somebody who puts people into trance state, I understand how delicate this state is and how damaging it is to get someone out of that state so rapidly without holding space for them. Because yes, this woman was having a problem and he needed to take care of her. And what about the other 300 people that were dealing with a very traumatic memory? Probably it can be a memory of abuse. It can be a memory of God know what. And you just let them out of this trance state and say, okay, everybody just clear the room. I thought was not the right thing to do. I saw a girl near me. She looked so like her face was, she came very happy, and she left very, very, like there was darkness on her face. Everybody looked very, very loopy. And I was thinking to myself, wow, what if something like that happened in one of my seminars, which was a good way to look at it. And I understand he freaked out. And I don't agree with the way he held the space. I don't think he stepped into leadership in that moment. I think it was a very poor choice to just let everybody go as is out of a trance state. And I also understand that he was probably didn't know what to do. But if this was my seminar, what I would have done is emotionally, physically, mentally prepared for, God forbid, something like that happening. Have medical assistant in the room, somebody who knows what to do, or have a protocol of what to do when something like this happened. Maybe take people away from the medical team, bring them to the front of the room and keep working with them for at least 10, 15 more minutes and gently get them out of their state, because you can't just lose your responsibility. You don't know what people come with. If they have mental illness, if they're suicidal, just snapping them out of a trance like that was, in my eyes, very, very irresponsible. Plus, there was no discussion for it afterwards. I never got an email of, oh, I'm so sorry you experienced that. Here's another course for free, or a partial refund, or an invitation for another breath work. So you will have something, a better holistic experience. There was nothing like that. So if you take the role of a guru and a leader, when something like that happens, you follow up with your people. You make sure everybody's okay, not that just one person in the room. At the end of the day, that person in the room had a history of seizures and she was okay. Thank God for that. Nobody wants to see anyone hurt. A leader has responsibility for everyone. Leadership is not what you see on Instagram. If somebody stand the right way, look the right way, dress up the right way, have the right smile, that's not leadership. Leadership is how a leader shows up in an emergency. This is where you see leadership. This is where you see a spiritual guru. So don't be fooled by beautiful videos online or all the hurrah of social media, and really trust your gut instinct. In that case, I am very happy that I had my background in breath work and all that, and I was able to put myself together, and it took me about 2-3 days to put myself together after that experience. Thinking about it, someone that did not have my experience, I don't know where they were, like where they are right now with this. This type of self-development can induce anxiety if you're with the wrong leader. So always make sure that you know who you are involved with. And even if you're involved with somebody who's, everybody say, oh, this person is 100%, even then prepare to deal with their humanity. We all make mistakes. I'm sure that guy had good intentions, but he made what I think a major mistake with how he handled these people. So always trust yourself when you choose a leader, and don't be so disappointed when a leader fails you, and take what you need from that interaction and learn from it and throw away the rest. Many people lately are into microdosing and psychedelic experiences, not for partying or going on a rave, but to connect to higher realms and do some healings. And psychedelics have a lot of power in healing people. And when you go with a shaman, I remember, especially in that breath work, I wasn't waiting for the valet parking, which just took forever. It was just a horrible way to leave that experience. People were lining up for the valet, the MDs and the fire truck was there, and the big lights, lots of noise. This is the worst way to wake up out of this type of an experience. It was very, very disorienting. And in line, I was talking to some people, young people, and one of them said, "Yes, I'm going to this shaman. I'm going to do ayahuasca." And I asked him, "Do you know anything about him?" No. "Do you know if he's a real shaman? Do you know the history?" Shamanism, in some places, become a money-making machine where foreigners can come and spend a few days. All of a sudden, they're a shaman. It's not very different from the shaman that came from his own tribe, or a shaman that went to a tribe and learned with them for years and years on end. And they have the real tradition and the real learning over years. So if you're going on an ayahuasca, shamanic exploration, or microdosing, always do it with somebody that you are 100% sure that is a good person. Make sure that you're going with a person you think or feel is the best for you. The person that will take you on it. Every time we go deep into the mind, a lot of good things can happen. And if it's not facilitated correctly, some bad things can happen too. And also know yourself, because not everyone can handle microdosing. Some people have a very addictive personality. Some people, if you don't feel like this is the right thing for you, never go on a trip like that because it's cool or popular, or never do it out of frustration or fear. If you go on a journey like that, sometimes it will take you a year or two to actually decide that this is the right thing for you. Take your time. Don't rush into things. Ask yourself, you connect your intuition, and sometimes we get misguided. So ask yourself again and again and again, is this the right thing for me to do? Is this the right thing for my current health, for my current mindset? Do I need to wait longer? Do I need to go with somebody else? Ask critical questions so you will get the best result out of your spiritual exploration. Always connect to your heart. Take a moment, take a deep breath, and connect to your intuition. A nice way that I like to connect to my intuition, it was actually in my first episode on Stellar Life podcast with Bill Donius. And he talks about left handwriting, or actually non-dominant handwriting. When you write with your non-dominant hand, you activate a different atmosphere of your brain that is connected to creativity. And it doesn't matter if you're a righty or a lefty. When you switch the way you write, you get different answers. There is a whole episode about that. So if you're interested in learning non-dominant handwriting and how to get answers this way, go to Buildonius. It's Stellar Life episode number 1. Easy to find, number 1. You can also go to orionsmethod.com or stellarlifepodcast.com. Just type Buildonius in the search bar and you'll find it. So when we have anxiety, whether it is from self-development, comparing ourselves to somebody else, or being with somebody who thinks he's really, really spiritual and puts you down because he knows better than you are, or maybe you feel like you need to sit in meditation like this person or look like that person. It all stems from I'm not enough. So let me tell you, you are enough. Your spiritual path is enough and more than enough and great and fantabulous. You're in the right place in the right time. You're always on your path, and God, the creator, the big spirit is always with you. So stop comparing yourself and make sure you are studying from the right people. So self-development is not a stress, but a joy. Honestly, it's not always a joy. When you do self-development, you go into inner child work and you deal with your darkness. It's not always joy, but it doesn't have to be anxiety producing overall for nothing. And if you have anxiety, here are some steps to deal with anxiety. Tapping. There are many videos online on YouTube about tapping. You tap on certain points in your face and your head, your arms. It's very simple, and it activates meridian points that will calm you down. When we are in anxiety, it's almost like our soul leaves the body. We are not grounded. We are up there thinking, worrying, stressing out, and it affects our body negatively. So by tapping, you're grounding yourself and you're activating calmness and ease. Another way to pull yourself down to your body is mindfulness meditation. You don't need to go and learn mindfulness meditation. It's very easy. You just sit here and use your senses, your physical senses. I'm now sitting here and I'm feeling my feet on the ground. I'm now sitting here and I feel my tush on the chair. I smell the room. I feel the temperature in the room, the temperature on my skin, the taste in my mouth. I listen to my breathing. And I'm here. I'm even just explaining this to you made me more grounded and more here. I am here, right now, in my full creative expression. And therefore, going from anxiety to your body through tapping, through mindfulness, through breathing. When you take short breath in anxiety, you are in the parasympathetic nervous system. And when you take deep, long breaths, inhale, exhale, you calm yourself down into the parasympathetic nervous system. You can do deep breathing. You can use box breathing, inhaling for 4, holding for 4, exhaling for 4, holding for 4. And you can do it to the count of 4, 6, 7, 8. Inhaling, holding, exhaling, holding to the same number, same count each time. And there are many awesome breathing apps. You can just breathe with the app. Videos. I mean, there are so many resources for you to calm down. This podcast is just one of them, and your best resource is resourcefulness, and you are resourceful. And if you're dealing with anxiety right now, if you just look for a solution instead of focusing on why am I here? This is scary, and all the. If you focus on the light and how to find a solution, you will find a solution. And if you're listening to this right here, right now, it's for a reason. And something you heard here today is going to help you along the way. And of course, in the physical realm, you definitely need to hydrate. Did you drink enough water today? If you are dehydrated, it can create anxiety and brain fog and dizziness. So just by hydrating and eating proper nutrition, you can release anxiety. Your body is very important, just as important as your mind. So take care of it. And a good night's sleep. I don't like to go to sleep early. And lately have been forcing myself to go to sleep early because the next day just feels so much better. Because I found out that I'm not a superhuman and I need to sleep. So if you're a night owl like me, stop it. Just stop it. Get enough sleep. It will help you with everything. It's like the chicken and the egg. You don't get enough sleep, so you get anxiety, so you can't sleep, so you don't get enough sleep, then that induces more anxiety. And so on and so forth. So sleep. Take the time to sleep. Sleep is good. Sleep. Good. Do it. Yes. Good. And those were my thoughts about self-development and anxiety, and never ever let anyone make you feel less than. And if you made a mistake and you chose the right person or had a bad experience, this is also good. It's also for your growth. Everything is for your highest and best good, even the most traumatic events. I know it sounds maybe insensitive, but as someone who experienced a lot of trauma in her life, I have to tell you that everything I've been through made me who I am today. It's what you do with your experiences. In Kabbalah, they call it the tikkun, soul correction. It's your correction. Like if you get some lessons and you correct them, then it's like in the Super Mario game or in a video game. You just step into the next level. Not always you have to go through suffering in order to get into the next level, but everyone I know had to go through some suffering to get to the next level. So this too shall pass, and this too is for your highest and greatest good. Thank you so much for listening. If you think that this episode was helpful, please share it with your friends. Contact me, write a review. I would love to hear from you. I would love to get feedback. If you're listening on YouTube, comment below and let me know. This is Orion. Till next time.